not the only one speaking to top authors this morning, because coming up here in the next half hour, from starting life as a child in Malaysia to moving to Gloucestershire and now becoming a best-selling author in her 60s, author Dinah Jefferies is going to be here after 9 o'clock.
We'll see you after with the headlines.
She's a grandma from Cheltenham who only started writing in her 60s after getting into financial difficulty, but now the author Dinah Jefferies is topping the bestsellers list.
Her latest novel is #1 in the forthcoming paperback fiction chart in the Sunday Times this weekend. It's currently outselling the likes of Kate Moss, Jeffrey Archer and Jodie Picoult. Is that how you say?
Yeah.
Picoult, is that correct?
Doesn't matter, she's further down the list. We never say Dinah Jefferies. Must be weird to hear that, doesn't it?
It's extraordinary. It isn't what I expected at all. It's been so fast, it's gone straight to #1. And, you know, I'm knocked off my feet, actually.
Why do you think it's done so well?
Well, it's a book set in the East. It's a very sort of exotic book that transports readers to a different time, a different place. It's a bit of sizzling sunshine as winter approaches. And I think people engage with the characters. It's about a woman called Gwen, a young 19-year-old, who goes out to meet her new husband. And it turns out that her perfect husband has become a perfect stranger. She's left to her own devices in an alien world and uncovers gradually several dark secrets. So the book is about secrets.
And we should say the name of the book.
Oh,
The Tea Planter's Wife.
Tea Planter's Wife.
We should mention that. You've had a very interesting route to becoming an author.
I have.
And I suppose you've lived, and events have shaped your life. But when we introduced you, we said financial difficulties.
Yes, we lost a lot.
You.
Yes, we lost a lot in the crash. We were living in Spain, and 2008, I think it was.
The financial crash.
And we had to sell up and come home. But in the time that it took to sell a house, I wrote my first book because I needed something to distract me from the awfulness of the situation. And I used to put post-it notes all around the walls, saying #1 bestseller, the advance I wanted to get, the publisher I wanted, the agent I wanted. It was a sort of exercise in positive thinking, so I didn't kind of panic at our financial crisis.
Oh, it worked, didn't it?
It worked. It took 7 years, but it worked.
Have you kept those post-it notes?
No, I wish I had.
You should have done it. You could have been signing them or putting them in when you do book sites. That's incredible. I mean, have you always been that driven, that positive, or was it just a case of needs?
No, I really believe that you need to focus on where you want to be and then get on with getting there. And because if you aim high, you're always probably going to fall. Well, I didn't this time, but you're always probably going to fall a bit short. If you don't aim high, you'll fall even lower. I've always been like that.
Your life has changed, hasn't it, since you've become this successful author?
I thought we'd be coming back to England and I'd be looking after my grandchildren and, you know, pottering. Well, I don't think I'm a potterer, but you know what I mean. And now I'm doing events and writing.
Travelling around the world, researching your books.
I've been to Sri Lanka to research The Tea Planter's Wife, and that was an amazing experience. I stayed in a tea planter's bungalow beside a lake in the Misty Hill country, which is exactly where the book is set, and they give you a taste of colonial life. So you have butlers waiting on you, hand and foot. I mean, I've never experienced anything like that, even though I was brought up in the East.
You might soon. If these books keep selling, that might be normal life for you.
Yes, well, I mean, the thing is, I was brought up in Malaysia, and so I've got this fascination with that part of the world, and I've...
That's you?
That's me!
Same hair.
Same hair. The bane of my life, I'm afraid, but there you go.
No, curly hair's great. I've got curly hair. You learn to control it. Positive thinking.
Yes,
positive thinking,
I haven't quite managed that.
Do you know, one thing we've been talking about on the programme today is the Cheltenham Literary Festival, and you've spoken
I spoke last year as part of the local authors strand. There was an interviewer and 2 authors, and that was lovely actually, a big audience, a nice audience.
Intimidating? Because you're a fairly, it's taken 7 years, but how many books took you? This is your second major
This is my
book.
second, I've got my third ready too, so yeah. I have done quite a few events. I did a book tour of Norway, which was lovely. And I've done a few events on my own and a few with other authors. So I'm used to that really now.
What's the next thing on your post-it notes? What do you want to do next?
Oh Lord, film? I haven't done a post-it note for that. That's a good idea.
Gotta get them. What colour post-it notes do you use?
Yellow.
I think we need to get some. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been
My
delightful
pleasure.
talking to you. I bet you can't wait to get the Sunday Times tomorrow and look at it and see it in...
See it in print.
So
Congratulations.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much.
Thank you. And Dinah's book is called The Tea Planter's Wife.